Hello, I'm Art Watkins, pastor of Cody Bible Church here in Cody, Alabama. We're located in South Alabama. Matter of fact, we're about a half a mile from the Gulf of Mexico. That's how far south we are. Now, what you're seeing in this video is me making my radio broadcast for my radio ministry that's heard on WOSM. That's an FM station, 103.1. And this station is located in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. It's a powerful station that reaches thousands of people all along the Gulf Coast from Louisiana to Florida. And it's a great open door to preach the gospel of grace and to teach God's word to people that may have never heard the gospel of grace before, or have never even opened the Bible before, or are confused about Bible issues. And so we count it a pleasure to come on the radio here and preach and teach God's word. It's a great ministry. We love it. And we're on a number of days during the week here on WOSM. And I hope you enjoy the broadcast today. This is the Thursday morning Bible class. And in this video, this broadcast you'll be seeing is concerning the identity of the Antichrist. We're going to identify the nation the Antichrist will come out of. I think you'll enjoy this. And good morning, everyone. We're on the air again with the Thursday morning Bible class. I'm Pastor Art Watkins of Cody Bible Church here in Cody, Alabama. Now, in the broadcast today, we're going to talk about a subject that a lot of folks spend a lot of time studying and talking about. And that's the subject of the Antichrist, the Antichrist. Now, the reason I've chosen this subject is because the Antichrist is one of the central figures of prophecy. You know, you cannot understand prophecy unless you study and know something about the Antichrist. Why, next to Jesus Christ, more is said about this man than any other person in prophecy. You know, two of the most important books of prophecy in the Bible are the books of Revelation in the New Testament and Daniel in the Old Testament. And both of those books have many references, prophecies concerning the Antichrist as well as Jesus Christ. For example, the Antichrist is seen throughout the book of Revelation. He is the white horse rider in chapter 6:2. He is the beast out of the bottomless pit in chapter 11, verse 7. He is the beast out of the sea in Revelation 13. He's the one who is wounded to death and is resurrected in Revelation 13:3. He's the one who makes war on the saints in Revelation 13:7. He's the one who compels all the earth to take his mark and worship him in Revelation 13:17. An image is made to him that is alive and speaks in Revelation 13. He's called the son of perdition in Revelation 17:8 and also in 2 Thessalonians 2:3. He's the one that makes war with Christ in Revelation 19. He's the one who killed the saints and the martyrs of Revelation 20 and verse 4. And of course, he's the one cast into the lake of fire along with the devil and the false prophet in Revelation 20 and verse 10. Now, in the book of Daniel, the Antichrist is the little horn of Daniel 7. He's the king of fierce countenance in Daniel 8. And he's the king of the north in Daniel chapter 11. Now, as you can see in these two books, the Antichrist plays a big part in prophecy. He is one of the main characters of the last days that precede the second coming of Christ. Now, we're told by these so-called prophecy teachers and by these left-behind fiction books and fiction movies, and those are fiction, by the way, we're told that the church will not witness the rise of the Antichrist, and so they say we should not even be concerned about the Antichrist. But you know what? That's bogus. That's bogus. The fact is, the church will witness the rise of the Antichrist. How do I know that? Because Paul said it will in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, Paul very plainly says that before Christ comes to gather the church unto himself, there must first be a falling away, which is apostasy, and the revelation of the son of perdition, who is the Antichrist. So we should know something about this man before he appears, because he that is forewarned is forearmed. Now, the broadcast today, we're going to talk about the pedigree of this man, where he comes from, his nationality. Now, that's important to know because of all the false doctrines that are taught today about the identity and the nationality of the Antichrist. You know, throughout my life, I've heard preachers and, quote, Bible scholars try to convince us to believe that the Antichrist comes out of America. Well, I heard them say that Henry Kissinger was the Antichrist. And then they said it was Jimmy Carter. And then they said it was Ronald Reagan. And then they said it was George Bush. And today we hear people say that Barack Obama, they say he's the Antichrist. There were many preachers during World War II who said the Antichrist was a German. They said that Adolf Hitler was the Antichrist. There are others who said that the Antichrist was an Italian. They said it was Mussolini. And then there were others who said the Antichrist was a Russian. They said that Joseph Stalin was the Antichrist. And today, some say the Antichrist will come out of the European Union, and they say that Prince Charles is the Antichrist. And many preachers and booksellers throughout history, they've taught us that the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church is the Antichrist. Most of the reformers believed and taught that. Many fundamentalists believe that today. But let me ask you, do you know the nationality of the Antichrist? Do you know what nation he will rise to power in? Well, you should, because the Scriptures are amazingly clear as to who this man is and what nation he will come to power out of. It's so clear and simple that you have to wonder if the devil has not blinded people's minds to keep them from seeing what nation the Antichrist will come out of. Now in today's broadcast, we're going to look at a prophecy in Micah chapter 5. And in this prophecy, we find a prophecy of both Jesus Christ and the Antichrist. And this prophecy tells us where both of them come from, where they originate, where they were born. Micah 5:2 says this, But thou, Bethlehem, Ephrath, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall it come forth unto me, that it should be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from old, from everlasting. Now Micah 5:2 is a prophecy of the birth of Christ. That verse told us where he would be born hundreds of years before he was ever born. He would be born in Bethlehem of Judea. The verse also tells us that Jesus Christ is the eternal Son of God because it says he's from old, from everlasting. And that verse also tells us that Jesus Christ one day will be a ruler in Israel. So that's a prophecy of the coming of Christ, Micah chapter 5, verse 2. But we keep reading through the chapter. In verse 4 it says, And he, that's Jesus, shall stand and feed in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. And this man, that's Jesus, shall be the peace. When the Assyrian shall come into our land, and when he shall tread in our palaces, then shall we raise against him 7 shepherds and 8 principal men, and they shall waste the land of Assyria with the sword, and the land of Nimrod in the entrance thereof. Thus shall he, that's Jesus, deliver us from the Assyrian when he cometh into our land, and when he treadeth within our borders. Now this is a future prophecy of an Assyrian. And this Assyrian, one day, will attack the land of Israel. He will tread down their land, their homes, and their palaces. But when he does, Jesus Christ will stand up against him and deliver them from this Assyrian. Now, who is this Assyrian? Well, it's a prophecy of the Antichrist who will attack Israel and persecute them just like these verses say he will. But what is important to note here is what the Antichrist is called in these verses. He's called the Assyrian. What does that tell us? That tells us the Antichrist will come out of Assyria. And what the Bible calls Assyria is what we call modern-day Iraq. Here in Micah 5 is a remarkable prophecy of the 2 main characters of the last days, Jesus Christ and the Antichrist. Jesus Christ is God incarnate. The Antichrist is the devil incarnate. And what is interesting to note is at their birthplace or given. Jesus came from Bethlehem of Judea. The Antichrist will come from Assyria. That's why he is called the Assyrian in these verses. So, what nationality does the Antichrist have? What is his identity? He is an Assyrian, and what the Bible calls Assyria is what we call Iraq. The Antichrist will come out of the nation of Iraq. Now, tomorrow's broadcast, the Friday morning Bible class, we'll have more to say about the pedigree and the nationality of this man, the Antichrist. That's the Friday morning Bible class. It'll come on tomorrow morning on this station at 9:20, so be sure to listen. In conclusion, I'd like to take a moment to invite you to attend the Codian Bible Church. We're right here in Codian, Alabama, right next door to Bible Factory. We have Sunday school at 10 o'clock, our preaching service at 10:45 on Sunday. Sunday night we're back at 6, and then Wednesday night we're back again at 6 o'clock for prayer meeting and Bible study. Thank you for listening today. I hope you have a good day, and until next time, Maranatha.